So I've been like super excited to have a conversation with you, like to really, really sit down and talk to you about your art.
Yeah.
Um, so my story with you begins with a photo in Harlem.
Yeah.
so, um, but the significance of the photo from Harlem was landed in my lap about a month ago. Well, I think it's been 2 months now when you told the story of how you started to paint. So for folks who are here with us, where should we dive in? Why don't we talk about it's a Rose in Harlem, right?
Yeah.
So Rose in Harlem, which you guys can see right behind you and in front of me, is gosh, is that your first piece?
It's one of my first big pieces. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell the story.
At the time we were in the middle of COVID and not the middle, we were towards the end of COVID. Mm-hmm. And I think we were just trying to get back outside, and you had taken this beautiful photo.
Because I was trying to be outside too a little bit.
And it was beautiful. It represented everything that I felt at the time. And not only that, it was so much detail in the photo that I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could actually create as much detail as a photo had in it. I think I was having confidence issues in whether or not I could actually be detail oriented or not. Okay. And I think that was my biggest thing. And I think I successfully
yes, you did that. I recently went back to the shot from, was that 21?
Yeah,
that was 2021. I went back to the shot and I compared the two, and I said, "Good gracious, she even got the ring." Like there is like a bundle of trash. Like the detail is super crazy. But it's something interesting about art and the power of art, because as I was capturing that photo. The subject, Kia, who's here, that was her old building. And that was the first time she had seen it in a while. She wanted to go back there. And so you kind of catch her in that image, looking around and explaining to me, yeah, that's the pizza place. And I lived up there. And so it was a moment for her. Yeah. And then I captured the moment. Yeah. And then you captured the moment.
Yeah.
But can you explain the significance of wanting to sort of test this ability for detail? Like, why were you doing that?
I think because I was so upset with the fact that I was not great with words or words and numbers. Those used to be my thing. I loved words and numbers, but I was having difficulty with that. And I felt like I couldn't pick details out of words. And so when I saw this painting, I just said, if I can do this, I still have it in me somewhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just poured everything into it and just took my time and looked at all the details in the photo just to try to, bring it all together and make it as real and bring the photo back to life in with acrylic.
Well, let's just say you definitely did that. But I want to back into it because there may be someone here that doesn't understand what it was you were trying to capture, what you had lost. And I think hearing you talk about it in this moment, I'm like, oh, that was her act of resistance. Yeah, that was like your way of pushing back what had happened. Can you talk a little bit about what happened that caused you to want to regain the ability to hone in on details and capture emotion?
At the time, so I had a stroke in 2020, and I had basically stopped talking. And because I had severe aphasia, which is a stutter, and I lost my vocabulary. Everyone has a Rolodex of words that they learn as they get older, but I had lost mine. So I really could not express how I was feeling at the time. And so I wanted to regain a sense of self. And I wanted to regain the knowledge that I was capable. Mm-hmm. And if I was capable, then I could do anything. If I could learn, I can do anything. And so that's where it started.
Yeah.
And the painting just gave me the platform to show it.
Wow. You were physically unable to speak, or you found it challenging to find words that you once found easy to spit out?
A little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I having muscle spasms in on the left side of my face made it very difficult sometimes to talk, and so I just either chose not to talk. And then along with having the missing vocabulary and the stutter, it just made things extremely difficult to try to communicate when I wanted to say things, and it just made me want to shut down.
Oh, wow. You fought against that.
Yeah.
You fought against that. There's so many things that you could have delved into. There's writing, there's cooking, there's, I don't know, gardening, there's, things. Did you doodle before the stroke?
No.
Like,
I didn't
do you
doodle
have a
at
book
all.
of sketches that you
Nope.
You never painted?
Never painted, never drew.
Stick figure person?
Nope.
What?
Not even that. I can't even do that. I was attracted to color.
Mm-hmm.
I think after the stroke, color appealed to me more than anything. And I think I was starting to give color expressive meanings. So like red was more angry, or orange was more angry, or green was my favorite color. It's my happy color. So I use green a lot. And so it evolved over time, but like it started out that way.
I'm just looking around at how some of the colors are represented.
Yeah.
For example, talk to me about this one here.
Damn Anxiety?
Yeah.
That one, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety. And mentally, anxiety can be crippling. It can make you feel like you want help, but then you don't want help. You want to be able to do it on your own. You want to build your own solutions, or what's it called?
Your own resolve, your own ability to get through.
Yeah, you want to figure out what works for you, and that's how I was feeling at the time. And I really just wanted to dig deep and work through it on my own. I wanted help, but at the same time, I just needed to figure it out all on myself, and that's why the head is down.
Yeah. What does blue represent? Since you assigned colors, sort of, what did we say? You assigned colors. Expressions. And blue is?
Calm. Because I wanted to be calm. Yeah. I think I wanted to be calm. I wanted to find peace and calmness in the midst of having an anxiety attack. And if I could find that, then I could feel better. Mm-hmm. So I chose blue specifically for that, because I wanted a solution. So as I was painting, I was figuring out what things worked for me, figuring out what methods or what type of self-care that I needed to do for myself that actually made things easier, made my anxiety lighten. So blue is calm.
That is amazing. When you decided, paint colors, like, do you remember the first, what's the word I'm looking for? What was the first canvas? Was it a piece of paper? Was it an actual canvas?
It was an actual canvas. Who bought
the paint? Like, did you tell anybody? Were you like, listen, mom, sis, like, I want to paint. So like, let's go get paint today.
So actually it started with me asking my mom for paint and canvases. She
actually was like, what? For what?
My mom has a lot of arts and crafts from doing tons of Girl Scouts and activities herself. Mm-hmm. So she always had a lot of stuff on hand. So I just asked her, did you have any paint? Do you have a canvas?
Did she ask you why?
I don't think so. She said, okay.
Whatever you want. Okay. Yeah. Wow. So you just tried it?
I just tried it. I just started asking. After my mom gave me what she had, I went and got like a small kit on Amazon and started from there. And then I was gifted some more art pieces and supplies.
I wonder who that came from.
Family and friends. For sure. Family and friends, they definitely helped out with that.
That is incredible. Did you keep the first one you did?
Yes, I did.
Do you think you'll ever part with it?
No.
It might be worth $1 million one day.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But
that's yours.
It's mine. I call it Crayola because at the time I was so confused. It's really just a hodgepodge of layers of colors over top of each other with no real rhyme or reason. It's just colors and not even blended. They're just overlapping, and that's exactly how I felt at the time when I first did that painting. So I don't think I'll ever part with it.
Oh yeah, I need to come by and have a look at it?
Yeah,
if you
of
don't
course.
mind. I have a favorite that's on display here. My favorite is Inaudible.
Oh.
And I had to explain Inaudible. Inaudible. I mean, you all could guess which one is Inaudible. So, well, why don't you describe it and then talk about the story behind it?
I think Inaudible is about feeling like you are unheard and not seen. A lot of times we put ourselves in situations where we could get ourselves out of it. And I think the rope is self-binding.
Wow, because she's holding it.
Yeah, because she's holding it. At any point in time, she can take it off. At any point in time, she could take it off.
Wow.
She has the power to do so. And I think sometimes we don't remember that we have an inner strength that is there, and that we just need to tap into it and understand like we can do it ourselves.
Yeah. Are you represented in each of these images?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Who is she?
This one,
yes. What's for title?
It Felt Like Love. That piece is really just how I see myself sitting in my bedroom learning about behaviors, learning about emotions, because I had difficulty with understanding emotions and relaying them. But the hand motion was a depiction of what I saw manipulation look like. And I wanted to learn more about it. And at the same time, I wanted to cut it off. But I wanted to actually just show what it felt like to me.
Wow. So is this universal manipulation or is
universal?
Okay.
Universal. It could be anything.
So the big hand of God.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple more I want to ask about. This beautiful lady here at print is Jared has purchased a print. He's such a phenomenal human being.
Shade.
Every exhibition he leaves with something, but no shade. And you said you were represented in all of these images we see. So.
Yeah, no shade is how I felt after I regained a bit of sense of self. And I wanted to remind myself that I was still that bitch.
Hey!
No tea, no shade. But I still had to, I needed to know that, girl, I still got it. And I wanted a picture that actually like showed that.
Yeah.
And she just looked so confident. And she just knows herself. And I felt like at the time I was knowing myself and wanting to be in that amount of confidence myself too.
Let's talk about art as a business model. There's a lot of talent in every one of these images. And you obviously know that there's an opportunity to monetize it. And as an artist, I know the conflict you feel between like your baby and like, but my baby is also like a star and can make money. When did you really say, all right, I have this and I can really be about the business of art. I can make this art. It has helped me reorient myself with emotion and feeling and color. I feel alive again. But also, wow, I'm an entrepreneur now.
I think Rose in Harlem started that. A Rose in Harlem really started out because that was, even though it was a painting that I took on myself, I considered it to be my first commission. and it was my first big painting that was paid for. Mm-hmm. So I really kind of delved into that one as being the moment where I felt like, okay, I could do this.
I could do this.
I could do this. Mm-hmm. I can actually put myself into this business, and I could make a living. And then from that, I had enough confidence to apply to do like the Black Girl Art shows. And I started doing, my first show was that one. And after that, it just kind of, that was like, the painting was the boom, and then the show was the aftermath. Mm-hmm. It was crazy after that.
That's incredible. Let's talk about health and wellness, because we've never had this conversation together. But like having a stroke at a young age, that had to be terrifying.
Yeah.
And I know that on your website and just in your art, you advocate for people to watch for signs, be mindful of what's going on with their body. Share a little bit about the advocacy work that you do around just making sure that people are taking care of themselves and watching out for symptoms.
I think my art, I try to make sure my art really speaks to everyone. And I think it's not talked about enough that mental health is really important. It's a lot of the unseen things that goes on within each and every one of us that nobody knows about. And I think talking to people at shows and just trying to get them to realize that they're not by themselves. They're not alone. You know, they aren't the only ones that feel this way. And having the perspective of a first time. So with the stroke, because everything is new for me, it's like I'm experiencing something for the first time, every single time. And with that, I can give a free perspective to someone who has been going through something, and it's unbiased. Mm-hmm. So I hope that my art, and when I talk to people, I inspire people to want to talk about their feelings, to express themselves in any way. Self-care is very, very important. If you know, there's just so much that we take on a daily basis that we really could just give ourselves some grace. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from me.
Yeah. So two things before I open up for questions. One, okay, I'm a genie in a bottle, right? You have rubbed on me and voila, you get 3 wishes. Uh-huh. If one of them could be your journey with art pans out exactly the way that you want to, mm-hmm. and you're looking back at the legacy, you're looking back at how you started, you're looking back at where you'd like to go, mm-hmm. what does your art career look like? If you were able to write that script yourself and it went exactly as you prescribed.
I'm literally have no idea.
And I love that answer.
I literally have no idea, because I feel like I'm doing everything day to day. I'm living in the moment. And what I know is that I want to be successful. I want to be able to, I want my career to have such an impact on the mental health, the stroke advocacy. Because I feel like there's not enough people who advocate for young adults who have had strokes. And there are more people than you would think that are my age. I hope that my art has been seen and felt worldwide, and that's
the big worldview.
Yeah, the big worldview.
But I really like that you don't have it prescribed. So it almost feels like in a writer's room where even the actors are like, I don't know what happens in episode 7.
Yeah.
They haven't written it yet.
Yeah.
There's something magical about that, right?
Yeah.
So before I open it up, I do want to ask you about one more painting.
Okay.
Sis is like part flapper, part fairy, part auntie.
So
What's the story on the first, the title?
this one is Unbothered Sincerely Tink.
Okay.
So this one goes along with the No Shade. I painted them both around the same time. I finished No Shade and then I started Unbothered Sincerely Tink. And I think that was just me trying to shut out all the tomfoolery, the things that weren't important, all the things that just seemed before very, very unnecessary, but at the same time, now it's not that deep.
Yeah.
I really had to check myself and tell myself it's not that deep. Matter of fact, you're a fairy, you are a butterfly. So I wanted to paint myself as if I was Tinkerbell, but it's the black girl version.
And help the room tonight. You sort of started me down this path. Like, we think some of these things are so important, and it doesn't need to take a stroke. It doesn't need to take a major life event before we take that kind of inventory. So, anyway, message. But I'd love to open it up for questions. Anybody have any questions for Monty? It's okay if you don't. All right, Monty, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Everybody clap it up for Montressa Hammond.